In 2021, I began the doctoral program in liberal studies at Georgetown University, where I completed the foundations of liberal studies. The initial course, DLS Foundation 1, explored the history of humanity, beginning with Homer's Iliad and Odyssey. While Homer briefly references Egypt and Africa, mentioning an old man as a source of stories, many Africologists, such as Professor Kimani Nehusi, author of Person and Personality, and assistant professor at Temple University Africology, critique the omission of Africa's foundational role in the history of civilization. At Georgetown, the course left out any acknowledgement of Africa or ancient Egypt, Kemet, as part of the foundation of Western civilization. After meeting members of the Ausar Auset Society in Philadelphia, conducting an interview with them, and learning about Kemet, I realized that my studies were not as accurate or inclusive of Africa's contributions. I embarked on research to uncover resources that place Africa at the foundation of human history, or at least prior to Greek civilization, which itself is influenced by African traditions and culture. Scholars like Dr. Anna Mazama, chair of the Department of Africology at Temple University and author of the Afrocentric Paradigm, argue that what we know of ancient Egypt has been bastardized by the Eurocentric retelling of history, diluting the contributions of Kemet and Africa. I subsequently enrolled in the PhD program at Temple University, where I started courses in Africology and African American history, including African civilizations, the Afrocentric Paradigm, and pro-seminar in Africology. The Afrocentric Paradigm, like the Eurocentric one, begins with a people, place, culture, and the stories that give meaning to their lives, shaping lasting communities and advancing the progression of life. However, when we view history through an Afrocentric lens, the conflict is not merely class-based, as Marx described, but cultural. Afrocentrism challenges Eurocentric notions of humanity's origins, placing Africa at the center, and works to deconstruct and decolonize white supremacy and the idea that Eurocentrism is universal. Afrocentricity emphasizes agency, cultural dissemination, and economic empowerment, while rejecting Marxism, postmodernism, and even black nationalism. Well, at least that's, Asante, the Asante camp probably dismisses postmodernism and Marxism, but I'm not sure, because, but I know that there is one camp that embrace post-black nationalism, and there are those who dismiss black nationalism. But there's a type of black nationalism that embraces Marxist ideologies and some, which is also part of, many people may think is brushed with postmodernism or postmodernity, because Marx himself and many communists don't necessarily embrace religion, and the spirituality is at the heart of Afrocentricity. Whatever the twain, I disagree with the claim that postmodernism denies or rejects culture entirely. Instead, postmodernists argue that culture is not divine, natural, or universal, but rather a reflection of human egos and experiences. So where do we begin? According to Dr. Nehusi Kimani, the question, who am I, must start with Africa as the center, which means beginning with Kemet. However, I believe we must first begin with the ultimate, God. For God is, and I quote, than that which nothing greater can be conceived or imagined, and he has revealed himself to all humanity, as we are made in his image. In response, humanity creates civilization or culture, shaped by their context or environment. However, cultures, whether African, European, or Chinese, have often been privileged over one another, leading to revolutions or wars that impose and erase. The cultural domination has been particularly evident in the African experience, where European art, history, and values supplanted African ones, leading to what could be described as cultural genocide. Yet, as Dana Berry highlights in Price for Her Pound of Flesh, the African spirit has preserved its history, preventing total annihilation. God's revelations to humanity are not exclusive to any one group, and each culture's response to divine inspiration varies. Yet, why is one narrative privileged over another? Today I sat with Germain Reason to begin my reflections on Africology as I continue my journey toward Afrocentricity. I'm Renaldo McKenzie of the Neoliberal podcast and YouTube channel, and author of Neoliberalism, Globalization, Income Inequality, Poverty and Resistance, and a PhD student here at Temple University in Africology and African American history. I pray that you will journey with me as I begin or embark on a revolutionary experience, unpacking and packing. What good. And of course, coming up on the other side of this is my sit down, it's my reflection yesterday with Germain Reason. And for those of us who, and Germain Reason, just so you know, it's going to be explicit. You might hear some words from the street. You might hear some S words and some F words. We deliberately didn't take it out, okay? So if you are attuned to that, you can sit back, relax, and listen, okay? But this ends this portion of the more professional, clean language. Coming up next is the part 2 of this particular reflection.
Yeah, that shit different, bro.
Because I heard
you framed me and you betrayed me. Like, yeah.
I think the Africans, the ancient Africans, our ancestors, and the people from the time of Kemet, I think they were very altruistic, because they said that the person who invented civilization was Kemet. He was an African king, a black king,
right?
And or dark complexion,
right?
King. They never used the word. I think they never talk. Probably in those times they never see people as
black
racial. So
people,
for
right.
African people back then, they were very altruistic. They were loving people. They wanted to spread civilization to the world.
Right.
So I don't know. I'm just talking off the bat because I want to know how is it that these small group of European people were able to just come and dominate. I know Walter Rodney wrote the book How Europe Underdeveloped Africa, which I really need to read. I haven't read. I'm going to read that book, and when I'm studying, but we black people, African people, we had art, we had history, we had technology, we had culture, right. We had religion, we had family,
like different type of technology, and different type of not as you see today. Like today is just
But when we think about black people, then we just think about slaves, and we had nothing, we're unintelligent, we're dumb, and that's not true. We are not.
Ask the OA, mind you. You see how you got the job that you got right now? It's high standings, right?
Yeah.
But it's motherfuckers that's higher than you that can push you out of there.
Indeed.
Correct?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't put it past that, man, because we always got somebody that's on the top of us trying to knock us the fuck off the scale so we can't never reach that fucking success goal.
Yeah.
Feel me? That's why it's always white motherfuckers that's doing it instead of black men.
Yeah.
Dig me? Because that white man gonna push us the fuck out of there.
This is
every type of angle, bro.
This is interesting. My twin brother Ricardo was telling me a story
real nigga
about
shit, bro.
He worked for a very good company. He had a very good job in New York. I used to work for that company too, but
shit, and y'all both worked that.
Yeah, so
that's wicked, bro. That's
we
wicked.
both used to work there.
What happened?
I'll tell you what happened after I tell you what my twin brother told me. Something that happened to him recently. Yeah. He has very wealthy clients.
Right.
It's a company that works with wealthy people. Money people. They have to have money really, because what they provide, the solutions they provide is high end.
Explicit shit.
They're very professional.
Okay.
So I don't want to reveal the company because my job here is not to defame anybody.
There we go.
Because you don't want to mess with the bread, the hand that feeds you. All right. I don't want to mess with the hand that feeds my brother.
There we go.
And he makes very good money for this company, a lot of money. And he's and that's good that he helped, and he's very helpful. He supports the family. He supports my mom.
That's love.
You know,
That's
he's
love.
a tower of strength financially. He's, I mean, apart from, I mean, my other family siblings help out, but he's been quite very helpful to me, helpful to my sisters, helpful to his nieces and nephews. So, and the job that he has help him to do that. But he was telling me an experience he has, and he provides the kind of lifestyle for him. But he have a lot of white clientele, high-end people, and he's very good at what he does. He's one of the top consultants. So he went to meet with this client at their house, wealthy area. He traveled to a big gate, pressed a button. He went to do an assessment. He said, "Hey, I'm Ricardo McKenzie. I'm here to do your assessment before you have to do an assessment, whatever." So they looked through the people looked through the camera and saw him and did not open the gate or nothing. And he said because he was a black guy. They saw that he was a black guy, and they didn't want to let him in. And people might say, "Oh, that's a stretch. How you know that's why they didn't want to open the gate?" First of all,
you got a camera and you got a microphone, and I'm talking to you.
Yes, and they looked out, saw him, and did not allow him in. Maybe because I don't know. And I believe my brother when he said they didn't let him in because he's black. First of all, Ricardo said because he did not fit the typical. He used that word typical, or he looked like the typical black guy, or he didn't look like the typical. What is the typical black guy? Okay, you have a typical black person that is acceptable. So I asked Ricardo, you mean W.E.B. Du Bois asked the question, are you within the veil?
Right.
How does a white person see me?
Right.
Do they see me as part of the veil or outside of the veil? In other words, am I one of those acceptable black people who they don't see as black? Or am I that black person who they see as black?
Right.
And of course, then they have to look at what's my attitude, my behavior, my look.
What do you see? Basically, it's like a flaw. What flaw do you see that I carry that I don't see myself? Did I not represent or present myself in the right manner?
Yeah, but my brother has dreads or braids, long braids and all of that. So maybe he looked like a kind of black guy that maybe he sound like a black guy that's within the veil, but he didn't look. Right. He looked too black. Maybe he had the hair that didn't, So, but then he talked about my in-laws, and this is. I mean, I'm recording right now, but some of this stuff I guess I don't know if I should record. But this is important because I'm linking what's going on in life with my studies and what I'm learning, because I'm learning about the African paradigm, which is about developing Afrocentricity, in other words, developing African consciousness. And to develop African consciousness, you have to deconstruct whiteness. The idea of whiteness, the whiteness that says nothing black no good, or the idea that black is always nasty, black people always don't have gardening, that's not true.
That's not true.
Black people has always had culture and art, and all of a sudden we associate that with whiteness. But anyways, apart, so now we have to re-educate. But anyways, outside of that, Ricardo, this is what my brother said. This is very important. He said his partner is white. So he deal with a lot of white people.
That's in his life.
And since he's been in the US, he's always been around white people, and they accept him. And he says, and he said to me, this was profound. He said, they accept me as one of their own. They accept me. Notice and they use the word they accept. They accept me. And they don't see me. So they only accept me as a black person because they don't really see me as the typical black man.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
In a sense, they see me as within the veil, kind of, or it's one of them because probably you're not like the other black people. I
see you a working man.
You're not like you work. You're educated.
You have a suit and tie on.
You have come from a nice family.
You know what I'm saying?
You speak well. You know what I mean? Stuff like that, or you know what I mean, and then I thought about it, and some white people think that, oh, because I have black friends, I'm a racist. But then, I'm not a white supremacist. However, they only say that they are not racist because they have a few black friends. But the few black friends that they have are black people that they accept as not like the other black people. So then their idea of inclusion,
they're not the average typical black people,
right? They're
to sell drugs, trying to get by,
or people, or maybe they're not educated and so on and so forth. But they're not like the other black people. All right, so they still have racial inclinations, but they have a few black people, but they only accept those few black people because, you know what I mean?
Thing too, like it's all in one, bro. Like you can't even separate shit no more. Like everything is compacted into one thing now. Bro.
Yeah,
yeah. Nigga, it was foul is foul, nigga. Like you know what I'm saying? Like what's wrong is wrong and what's right is right. Nigga. But at the same time, motherfuckers know what they doing at the end of the day, bro. This ain't that. You already know how it goes. Yeah. Like, there's a bunch of racial shit going on everyday, regular basis.
Yeah.
Then you got motherfucking white niggas that smile in your face every day. And they gonna talk shit soon as they walk away from you. Like, this black motherfucker.
Yeah.
I don't like him. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I used to work at
It's a conscience thing, too. Like, you just be like, all right, fuck it. Like, you know what I mean? I mean, you be me. You just gotta live at the end of the day.
I used to work at TD Bank. Because I'm gonna tell you the experience my twin brother have, I can piggyback off that because I've had an experience like that. I work at TD Bank or TD Ameritrade, TD Bank, TD Ameritrade, and I was the financial advisor for the Broomall branch at the time in 2017. Every branch had a financial advisor.
Right.
So I was at the Broomall branch. I was the financial advisor up there. And this guy called, wanted to invest his money because he had a regular savings account. He has all this money in his savings account, and as a financial advisor, my job was to when a regular banker would look into somebody's account or a customer service person realize that somebody have over a certain amount of money in their account, then they usually transfer them to me and say, hey, Mr. McKenzie, this guy has all this money. He should have a high yield savings account, and that's my job, was to provide high yield savings account, high yield investment solutions. So I'm like, fine, yeah. So I called him, made an appointment. He came in.
There we go.
No, this guy was a white guy.
Right.
He came in. He saw that when he came up to meet me. He saw that I stood up, went to shake his hand. He saw that I was a black guy. Saw that Renaldo McKenzie was a black guy, and stick my hand out, extended my hand to shake him, to greet him, and he pulled his hand back, shrugged off to the side of it, made his face up, looked me up and down, and walked outside and lit a cigarette right outside the bank. The other managers saw what happened. The other people in the bank saw it. He called the vice president too. The vice president came over to me, spoke with me, and I spoke with her, and then we got the general manager for the branch involved, and then they didn't let the guy leave. They called another because every branch only have one licensed financial advisor.
Right.
I was the licensed financial advisor, and nobody else can provide the product or the solutions that I provide. You have to be licensed. So they called this other person, financial services rep, and have that banker come to my branch, sat with him, met with him, and did what he provided, whatever customer service he wanted in terms of high yield, and then let him go. And I was saying to that I said to you, that was racist, and the bank facilitated it too. Because first of all, the bank should have said, wait, hold up. I mean, what's going on? Why you don't want to do business with this? What? And then and they actually went and called another bank. I never said anything inappropriate. He just looked me up and down, refused to shake my hand. We saw that I was black, and they had to get a white person to come to the bank. Like, yo. So yeah, bro.
You gotta take the noise out. Come on. So yeah, it's different, bro.
Yeah.
It's different, man. It's different. Seriously. You can't trust everybody, bro. That's what I'm saying. You gotta keep your personal, and keep your business, man.
Yep.
A lot of motherfucking white people don't trust us with nothing. That's why we don't got a lot of shit, bro.
Yeah.
We go out here selling drugs and shit just to get a top dollar. Why? Crazy thing about it, that white man gonna buy it.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy.
And then we have religions and institutions that all are built on this Eurocentric, ethnocentric ideology.
It's just a lot, bro.
You know what I mean? It's quite interesting, like. So, this is quite deep. This is powerful.
Fuck yeah, man. You gotta have intellectual stuff.
Yeah. And you have to have people now who help to take this message, so that black people can now develop a kind of consciousness that
we gotta get over top, man. Fuck that.
Develop unity. Like, there's no reason why people, you know.
We gotta get on top. We got too much.
We don't understand how connected we are, and I think that's why we have to rediscover this African consciousness. This, so that this how connected we are, and so I think that's important. Because say, for example, look what's going on in Haiti or Haiti. Black Americans or African Americans, I couldn't care less with what's going on in Haiti and the policy towards Haitians. The policy that people have, or some of these countries have, towards our black brothers and sisters and brown sisters and brothers in other parts of the world. And even within, you know what I mean? Yes. And then you even have some black people here in America who are friends with people who are creating policy and actions say, for example, look what happened with George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and Tyree Nichols. Right. In many of these instances, some of the white cops that were abusing and terrorizing the black people, some black people were there and they stood up and did nothing. Right. You know, because for them, they are different. I'm telling you, that's how it is, because they are not those other black people. You know, it's the same, but that's existed in slavery when you had house slaves who used and the slaves who they used to whip the other slaves. You know what I mean? They were opportunists everywhere.
It's real.
Yeah.
That shit real.
W.E.B. Du Bois accused Booker T. Washington as being an opportunist because he was an accommodationist. Yeah. But yo, this is great. I am loving I'm at Temple University. My program is great. I'm learning and I'm applying it back to life, and so this is really cool.
That's different, bro.
Yeah.
Different, bro. We gotta get it together with life. Man.
One more.
As a black man, struggle is real at the same time to make you a better person.
Yeah.
Like, you get to realize different shit. Like just like I was saying, like. Even though motherfuckers don't want you to get there, you gotta keep striving for it, bro.
Yeah, that's true.
Keep striving for it, bro. You can't never say it. You ain't do it once you did it.
Yeah.
But then it stands for everything, especially if you got a family and build your empire, bro. But that's impossible, like, you know what I mean?
I'm telling you, that's why I'm telling you, you have to do your own. You know, you know why I started the Neoliberal.com? It's not just for a platform for my book.
Right.
But I realized how these companies have algorithms that limit and monitor what they make. They decide who gets visibility, who makes money, and so on. You know, and there's a lot. What comes Twitter and Facebook and these platforms are all political. So I'm trying to build my own platform. So now, and in a sense, right now we got a platform. So I've been telling people, you can come to us. We'll promote your book. We'll promote what you have. We'll promote you because now. You know, that's why I'm working hard to promote the YouTube channel, to expand it, to expand our audience, to promote the podcast, to promote the website, the Neoliberal.com and OdysseyMcKenzie.com. You know, I'm trying to promote so that we have a platform where we don't have to deal with the bullshit, the political stuff on these other platforms, you know what I mean, that limit and provide algorithms. They want you to be paying money, and then when you pay them money, they're using the money to invest in people and things that is anti-black, anti-humanist,
anti-culturalist.
Like look what Elon Musk is doing. Elon Musk is supporting Donald Trump.
All day, bro.
Okay, and some of your money that you are using on Twitter, some of the visibility you're providing to Twitter, he's making money off that, and some of that is he's investing it and putting it on his boy Donald Trump. Okay, and then things that you may not, which is, first of all, I mean, I want it. Yeah, so I'm like, this is. This is so. Sometimes people are that's why, you know, a lot of people don't. A lot of famous people, they don't pay to get verified on Twitter or Facebook.
They don't pay for shit.
They don't pay. They don't believe that they should.
You wanna know why?
You know, these things and wasn't supposed to. It wasn't supposed to be making money.
Once you make your search figure, you ain't getting taxed for shit, correct?
First of all, you have tax loopholes. These people create foundations or charities that invite people to donate to these charities.
And it's a wrap.
And once, so in other words, say they create a foundation in their name that's attached to them, and they create a staff that raise money from people, from regular working class Americans. And when you go to the store, they say, "Oh, don't you want to put your extra change into this, that, and the third, and save this and that," and you put money towards it, and then that's a charity.
Right.
So now their charity raised $1 billion, and they give it to, they use it to give it to help non-profit stuff, and they get to write it off on their taxes. Say, hey, my foundation, which I gave $1 billion, so I made 10 billion or 8 billion, and I'm supposed to give 1 billion, but that 1 billion I get to write off because I have a foundation and we provided $1 billion to save the nation or whatever.
Right.
But that $1 billion didn't really come from them.
Nope.
It came from their fundraising drive from regular people. So that is another tax loophole or another trickery that's in the system where these wealthy people are starting charities and foundations, rich people at foundations, and then raising money from regular people, but they are still writing it off on their taxes, saying that their charity give this money, but it's not really their money. It's really money that they raise from other people, and then they are giving it, and they're saying that, oh, this is my charity, give $1 billion, but it was, you know what I mean? You see how it's done.
You know, this whole time we could have been writing taxes off on our birthdays and all that shit, bro. You know that shit, right? Like,
Well, yeah.
I've been finding little shit out about, like, I mean, that's why I said we got all put our black people on, bro. I'm 30 years old. I ain't no old head. I ain't no young boy.
I'm going to start a charity.
I'm right in the middle, bro. Listen, this whole time, it's all about putting our black people on, bro. Building each other up, not breaking each other down. See what I'm saying? It'd be that. Like, I mean, we so envious against each other. Oh, that nigga got better than what I got. I want to take that shit. Instead of saying, damn, let's come together and get more than what the fuck we got. You know what I'm saying? 2 heads is better than one. 4 heads is better than some. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's get it ready, bro. Life's too short if we don't fuck shit with each other. You feel me?